Hey everyone, you saw me on Pro Power Hour and now it's time you get to know me. When I was younger, I wished I knew what to do with all the shots I was taught. I was taught how to hit every shot known to mankind and drop shotting, angles, the whipping, looping forehand, cross court angle, um, backhand, topspin lobs, but I didn't know what to do with all that in a play strategy type situation. So what I would ask myself is, especially when you're taught with a ton of different shots, you get a little confused as a younger person of what to do with all that. You have a lot of weapons, but they're not worth anything if you don't know how to use them. So I would ask, as a younger self, ask your coach, when would I use this shot? How can I put points together against my opponents? What do I do to break down my opponent's strengths so I can beat him easily? So just court strategy, aware of your opponent's strengths and weaknesses, just stuff like that. And I think you'll be a better tennis player quicker. So I would practice with different types of players, baseliners, just mix up the type of people that you play with. Someone who likes to come in a lot when you're practicing. So get used to playing different kinds of players, a variety. So you're not just practicing with the same person over and over again. I play a lot of points, just like cumulative points, like who can get to 10 first, or you serve and they just return. Not so much a match yet, especially if you have anxieties of playing matches. So I would do just a lot of points because it takes the pressure off of you, and then you're able to just practice on each point when you play. Do lots of tiebreakers, different kinds of tiebreakers, different lengths, 7, 10, just to give you different variety of different ways and different types of tiebreakers to play, so you're used to it. And then practice patterns of different shots, bring them in, lob, cross court, then down the line, just something like that when you can. You're not just going to serve in and immediately boom, 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 because you have to read and know what point or what kind of shot to hit right after. And then if you're playing someone that you kind of are familiar with their game, try to find someone who has a similar game and practice against them before a match. So you get some similar type shot that they give you before. So it's not like all of a sudden a shock and it takes you a whole set to be able to read that and figure out how they play. So what I used to do, I'd ask my friends, my junior friends when I was playing, say, hey, can you give me some tips? How does this person play? How are they playing? Have you watched them? Especially if you're playing the same time that they're playing, then you can't really watch them or pay attention. So that's what I would do. I would get my friends to help me scout and give me tips, and they're really good that way. So playing before matches, preparing myself, and what I would do differently. I did my homework, but I think I could have done a better job with homework and of knowing who I was playing, how to prepare myself for matches. I think I would enjoy the matches better if I was prepared, like if I ate a better. Now everything's all about nutrition. We didn't have anything like that when I was growing up. Just made sure you ate before, the night before. They didn't say what to eat or how much to drink or how much to hydrate yourself. Now they have all these little packets and all these different bars that you can eat. All we had was bananas and salt, if you're getting dehydrated and stuff like that. So there's a lot of advantages that people, everyone has now that we didn't have back in the day. We were kind of just playing it by ear and didn't know. Um, but I would just, if you're prepared and you just enjoy the match, have fun. Um, what I'll tell you a couple of things that happened to me when I was younger, and you're gonna laugh. As my very first tournament, I was like 11. I was playing this girl who was the #1 seed, and I was beating her. It was pretty close, but I was ahead. And a bird flew over the court, and she said, the bird distracted me, and it was my ad to be up a game and then break her or serve for the match. I can't remember because it was so long ago. But I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll do it, let's do it over, take the point over. And of course I lost the point. And she won the game, and then I lost the next game, and that was the match. So know the rules. The bird, I'll never hear the end of it. Everyone brings that up. Remember when the bird flew over the court? So know the rules of the matches so no one could pull something over you like I did. It was, my very first match, I didn't know. I'd only been playing for a few months and decided to play a match. So, hit and warm up before is really good for practicing right before a match. And also, don't take a nap. So you won your first match, you go home, and there's 3 hours before your next match. You go home if it's close to home and you're tired because your first match was at 8 a.m. Well, this is what I did. I went home, I'm so tired, and then I went and lay down, took a nap, and that was it. I was not good for my next match because the girl that I played against, I remember she just ran everything down. She was a little scrappy, and I was not at all, had no energy whatsoever. So do not take a nap before. Okay, those are my tips. Practicing is the time to work on certain strokes that you really don't feel comfortable or confident in when you're playing in a match situation. So practice then when it doesn't count. Don't try a shot when you're playing a match that you're not used to using or you don't feel confident playing. So when you're practicing, that's when you try drop shotting from the baseline that's not, a high percentage shot, or just try different things. You need to practice your backhand, which everyone avoids doing. Seems like the backhand side, unless you're love your backhand. I couldn't hit a two-hander to save my life. I was probably one of the few people back in the day that had a one-hander. So that's what I did. I had my one-hander and I kept practicing it. I tried to top spin, I sliced. I was a big slicer, but that's what people did back then. Backhand volleys, I avoided it like the plague. If I was standing at the net on the ad side, I would never run and poach. I had to force myself to do it, so that's what I practiced. I practiced running and trying to get that backhand volley. Got myself out of my comfort zone. So that's what practicing is all about. Get yourself out of your comfort zone. Try something that you need to really work on. That's what practice is. Practice makes perfect. And try not to do something that you're not mentally prepared to do. If you're practicing something and you don't, it's a really hard shot for you. You have a block when you do that shot. Make sure when you want to practice that shot that you're mentally ready to practice and really do it, because you can get really frustrated practicing something that you don't feel confident in, because that's what you practice. If that happens and you're really frustrated and you aren't happy and you're, walk away from it, step aside, and either try it one more time or two more times If you're not getting it, then just go on to another stroke. You know, go to a stroke that you feel more comfortable practicing, and that way it'll clear your mind, and then you can go back to that stroke and try to practice it again. But don't give up on your strokes. Make sure you're equally comfortable hitting on both sides. Okay, you don't want to have an amazing forehand side and your backhand side is nothing, because that's where your opponents are going to go. So try not to give up on the side that your weaker side. Practice it until you feel just as comfortable hitting that side as you do with your strength. So my advice to my younger self, or to the younger players now, have fun. I had so much fun when I played. I was an introvert as a child, and I was extremely shy. And this sport was awesome to me. It brought me out of my shell. It showed me opportunities that I would probably have never had if I wouldn't have, played tennis. I got to meet all kinds of new friends from all over who were doctors now, lawyers, marketing people, very successful people. Not that I wouldn't have met other people like that, but I just think that it opens your whole world to expands your horizons, basically. It does, it opens your door. I didn't give up on the sport. I love the sport to this day. It's my passion. That's why I'm fortunate to work for UST Florida. Like I said, a small town girl from Pittsburgh ends up in Florida. I worked in resorts, coached at UCF, Central Florida, and who would have thought, just from picking up a racket that my dad brought home, would open up all these doors for me. So don't give up on the sport, and the sport will be good to you, because that's exactly what happened to me. So enjoy it, have a good time, and don't be too hard on yourself. That's what I would tell my younger self. I would have never thought I would be sitting here making a video if it wasn't for tennis. So thank you, and good luck in your tennis adventure.